we have IP in the news. So who are we talking about today?
Well, it's the trademark battle between the Kylies. Kylie Minogue, a pop star from Australia, and Kylie Jenner of the Kardashians. Kylie Jenner wanted to trademark her name Kylie.
Right.
Kylie Minogue was like, no, no, no.
And so, yeah, they filed an opposition, or Kylie Minogue filed an opposition at the trademark office, the U.S. trademark office, to prevent Kylie Jenner from actually getting her trademark issued. And an opposition procedure is an internal U.S. Patent and Trademark Office procedure where somebody can object to the registration of somebody else's trademark. And it's cheaper and it's less expensive than going to court. And it's a good way for people to work out disputes economically using the legal process.
Right. So a couple of things of interest about Kylie Minogue. She said, I've spent a lifetime protecting my brand and building my brand. So it was just something that had to be done. And that's why trademarks are so important. They're a vital part of your brand. And the good news, she said, is that it's all wrapped up and we didn't have to go to court. So they were able to settle this without having to go to court. And it was really super important to protect your brand, and the trademark is part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got some publicity out of it too by starting a lawsuit.
Maybe they were in on it together. But how did she find out though that somebody else wanted to trademark her name?
Well, I don't really know in this particular circumstance how she found out, but there's a lot of companies that have watch services. And Gearhart Law, for example, has a watch service, and we watch other people's trademarks as they get filed and as they go through the system. And so we know if a competitor or any third party is planning to get a trademark registered that could violate our clients' rights. And so we stay on top of it that way. And a lot of people use this kind of service because it's, otherwise, how would she have known if Kylie Jenner was filing a trademark on her name, right?
Right. So yes, protect yourself.
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line.
So it's time for Richard's Roundtable, and I'm really looking forward to hearing from our guests. Dr. Bill, welcome to the show. Do you have any comments on this story or any other intellectual property questions that you'd like to raise?
I think it's actually really funny. I love meeting people today, and when they say, "What do you do?" I say, I invented Zoom. And they're like, "No." Like, well, yeah. And it's actually true. I invented Zoom tooth whitening back in 1990. We hit the market with Zoom. And then about 3 or 4 years later, LegalZoom came out. And then, today, obviously, Zoom video conferencing is huge. So when I tell people I invented Zoom, they immediately think it's a video conferencing, which I wish it was. But the fact of the matter is that these are different industries. So there was no overlap, and they all went through the patent law office and, all of these trademarks, and then they were registered. And in fact, I was laughing because I just launched a new product that you can find online. They're called Buzz Balls, and they're caffeinated gumballs. And Buzz Balls actually is also an alcoholic beverage, I found out. Spelled with a Z at the end. And again, we registered this. We had the trademark, and then we got registered because we are a different industry. So I don't know if the Kylies are different enough where they could actually get around this. But it's kind of like trying to patent water, actually. I mean, I think it's kind of arrogant to think that you can patent your name Kylie when there are billions of women in the world, and maybe even men named Kylie, right?
Yeah. And there's some confusion. You don't get protection for the name Kylie. You get protection for using the name Kylie, probably in this case, in connection with entertainment services. So you can't stop somebody from using the name. And then you've got to prove that the name has secondary meaning, which means that it's in this case, relatively well-known and famous. So you have to be at a certain level of fame before you can protect the name. So, but yeah, it confuses a lot of people, and people say, how can somebody trademark a name? It sounds ridiculous. But if you only do it for selling cosmetics or something, then that doesn't stop other people from naming their kids.
We forgot to say the trademark office did not allow the mark for Kylie Jenner
Right.
after all they went through.
Pooja, what do you think about all of this?
So I think since they're both in the entertainment industry, both Kylie Minogue and Kylie Jenner, that it would be difficult for Kylie Jenner to do that, to make that, to patent it or make it so only she could use that in a certain industry. So, but I think that if somebody could do it, it would be amazing. But again, I don't think that it would be able to actually go through. And so that's my take on it.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is amazing. It's pretty hard to get a name trademark, but celebrities are able to do that. If you're famous enough and you use it for certain things, then it happens. But like you said, you're right. They were both in the entertainment industry, and so obviously there were going to be clashes there.
Well, I think the moral of the story too is that you don't just apply for a trademark and get it. Like
Right.
you have to fight to get it. You have to prove that you deserve it. So
That's right. That's right. So that's a very good point.
So who's next?
Mike, what do you have to say?
So I definitely sense some Hertz Avis energy here. Calculated play. But after years of being critical of my wife's entertainment choices, I'm not going to say any more, otherwise I'm going to be called a hypocrite. These at work when I've been telling her to avoid such things. But yeah, no, I think it's definitely a great marketing play, whether it was or it wasn't born out of that. I think it's always good to get some press and get some extra spotlight on your fame. So I commend the women for getting that and then getting out cheaply.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely the key. So Kenya, what are your thoughts?
Well, to be a Kardashian or a Jenner and be told no, right? It's like, when does that ever happen?
When
right?
does that ever happen?
But it's interesting. It's funny because she has the whole Kylie lip kit thing, and one would think that would give her a little leverage because she has built an established cosmetic brand based on her name. And I don't know the usage or what she was trying to do with the whole Kylie thing, but good. There's no such thing as bad publicity, I guess.
Yeah,
right. I say that all the time, but Elizabeth
I
disagrees with me.
Sometimes.
So
anyway,
well, that's it. I guess the takeaway from this roundtable and the IP in the news is, watch your competitors' trademarks, right? Because if you don't watch what's going on in the marketplace, somebody else is going to pop up with something that could create a problem for you. So
absolutely.